today's DIY, we need of course our tumbling tower blocks, some wood glue, some furniture wax, of course paint at your choice, my glue gun, some scissors, some brush, and of course some glue sticks. These are the main pieces, and later we will take also a print, but you will see that in a moment. But first we are going to make the base of our flag, because it is a 4th of July DIY, and we are going to make a flag which can stand on his own. So we will see how this will turn out. For the base of the flag, we are going to take some top of the block. We are going to do some glue. We are going to glue this one at the side this way, and removing our glue, we are going to take another block. We are going to do again some glue on the top. We are not going to place it here, but we're going to place it against this one and squeeze it and press it down. And now we're going to do some glue on this top from the smaller one, and from this one we're going to do it in the inside at the end. And if everything's alright, we can place this over here and we have a nice square like this, and I show it to you. And this is what I mean. This is the first base of our feet of our flag. We are going to take a block and we're going to do some glue on the side. Glue some block against this one and squeeze it and press it down. And again another one. And we're going to do number 3 like this. Squeeze it and press it down. So we get a nice clean this way. And I'm going to remove the glue on the sides, and we are going to glue this on top of here, but we are going to do that with some wood glue, because then it sticks in place a little better. So we're going to do some wood glue around the end of the lines, just this way, over here and over here. So he sticks very nicely on top of each other, and this way, lay it down in the middle and look if you have it in a straight line this way, and just let this dry. What we're going to do right now, we are going to take again a block and we are going to do some glue on the side. We place this block against this block, and of course make sure that your glue is away. On the side, you see I already spilled some glue. I'm going to do some glue on this side of the block, and again I'm going to place this one also over here like this. And now I'm going to do some glue at this end, and of course in the inside of this one like this. And now one is fitting inside this block, and now we have a nice square like this, and we are going to make 4 of them. And you see I have all 4 pieces of our flag holder. What we're going to do, we're going to glue them on top of each other. I'm doing it with some wood glue, but before I did, I just look for some glue, because or else it doesn't fit quite right on top of each other. So I'm going to go for the first layer, of course, of my, and I'm going to try to get it a little bit close to the little opening, because then your glue doesn't come out totally. Or maybe I can change it over this way, maybe this better, like this. And I'm going to place it up here, and I'm going to go for the next one. We do some glue again on the, a little more on the inside this way, because most of the time it comes out, you see, just on the middle. And I'm going to place it over here and just let it fall and work a little bit with it, because you still can, that's the great thing about wood glue, you still can change it up a little bit. And I still feel here some glue And of course, this is the side, but when you're going to paint it, it doesn't give such a nice effect. So we are going to make sure that everything is gone. And now the last piece, of course, I have to look if I have it on the right spot. Here I do. And now, and then we're going to let it dry for at least a half hour. Of course, we are going to place it over here and we are going to let it dry. In the meantime, while our base and of course our flag holder is drying, we are going to make the flags. And of course, we're not going to make one. You also can do one on this side, but I'm going to go for a little bit different. I'm going to go for 4 of them. So I don't know if this is a great idea or not, but we will see how this will turn out. You know me, always a little bit more different than someone else. So, and most of the time, a lot of things are also going wrong more than with other people's. But I always say, if you don't try it, you never know. And I am already stuck to my placemat with my glue. You see already. And a number 4. So I'm going to take the flag space from 4 blocks. So very easy. Just make them, press them down like this, 4 pieces, and I'm going to make them 4 times. See our 4 pieces of our flag. What I'm going to do, because I want to glue them on each side of this flag holder, I'm going to do some print on top, of course, on this side and on this side, on this side and on the other side. So I need 8 pieces of prints, and I make 2 different prints. So I'm going to print them out, and then we're going to Mod Podge them on our flags. And this is the prints I will use. Of course, I will use 2 different prints, like I told you. One Independence Day, and of course, this Land of the Brave. So I will cut all of them out, because we really need 8 of them, because we're going to do the front and the back side of our flag. So I'm going to cut them out, and then we're going to Mod Podge them on top of our little holders. I cut them out, and I have 2 sets of my little prints. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do one on this side and another one on the other side. So we are going to, first I'm going to do for all 4 of them, I'm going to do the Independence Day. I'm going to do some Mod Podge on top of here, and just do Mod Podging your way, because I do it probably maybe different than someone else does. Most of the time I'm doing something, because one time it wrinkles, the other time it doesn't. So I always hoping for the best, hoping for the best. So I'm going to place it in the middle and try not to get Mod Podge on the front, because I want to keep the matte finish. And see, this is already one. I'm going to do all 4 of them, and this one I'm going to do on the back side. Mod Podge my 4 signs, and of course on each side a different print. What I'm going to do, I turn over my middle piece of my flag like this, and I'm going to turn also my sign, of course, upside down, because we are going to glue it in the middle on each side of our flag holder. Maybe that's a better word, flag holder, like this. In the Netherlands we call it a flag, is in the Netherlands vlag. It's almost the same, only the F is turned into for us a V. So it is almost the same word. So I'm going to glue them with some Mod Podge because of some wood glue, because I want to make sure that he stays in place very nicely. So I'm going to do with and on each side I'm going to try which one is fitting better on top of here. So maybe this one, I have to do it this way. So I have to look for the right space, and then I'm going to do all 4 of them. So I glued my flag together, and this is what you get. Of course, I'm going to turn it over, and I hope everything stays in place, but you never know. Sometimes it just drops off and falls on your table. So I am hoping for the best. For the best, because I should have given it a little bit more dry time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my of course my feet of my flag holder, and I'm going to, it also looks like a sign, oh no, how you could, a road sign. It's also again, so we're going to glue this on top of here, and then we only need for the top, you can use a bead, and I have this laying around. This was from the Easter wooden pieces, and I just, it's an Easter egg, but if you glue it on top of here, it is really a nice ending of a nice top for your flag holder. And I'm going to do everything, the rest, in some furniture wax, but of course you can paint it. But if you are going to paint it, I'm sorry, I have to tell you that it is a little bit longer, but if you're going to paint it, just paint your flag already before you do the Mod Podge on your flags, because or else it's a little bit more difficult to get it off and you get more Mod Podge on your paint. So enough talking, I'm going to glue this on top of here. So I turn it over, and I'm doing enough glue on this side because I don't want to that it falls off his feet. So I need enough glue, but of course not too much. But I'm always a person who uses a little bit too much glue, a little bit too much Mod Podge, but don't mind, do whatever you think is right. So I'm going to go over, and I'm going to place it in the middle like this. Keep it in place. Turn it around and make sure that I have it exactly in the middle where I want to have it. And this, and now it can dry. Of course, I am also going to place the top on here, and I'm just doing some wood glue on this, but of course choose anything you like. I just do the wood glue, but I have to look before he is fitting and he's not fitting. So he's not if I had a little size bigger, that would be even more better, but I have to work with what I have. So I have to place it in the middle like this, and now I'll let this dry also. So my sign of my flag, my road sign, just what you going to call it, at least he is dried up, and I'm going to take my furniture wax and I'm going to do it in some furniture wax. But like I said, if you did paint it, you're already done, you already did paint it, so I still need to wax mine. I have my sign now totally in the furniture wax. I let it dry, and then I'm going to take a piece of kitchen towel, and then I'm kitchen paper, not towel, kitchen paper, and I'm going to wipe the wax, which is too much. I'm going to wipe away, and then he is finished. In a moment you see a quick impression.
With a lot of old blocks that were in a bag somewhere in my stash, and they were painted here and there, and I thought, why not give them a second life for a 4th of July DIY. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a 4th of July DIY with those tumbling tower blocks that I want to upcycle. I'd like to make this cross, so I just assembled how large I want it to be. Well, you can make it larger like that, or if you want to have some here, you can do that. But I think I'm happy with this scale, and yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it. First, I want to give them a paint job because this doesn't look nice, of course. And if you are doing the same, then I suggest, if you're having you know, really rough parts of well, where is paint blisters or something, Then you can just sandpaper it and you know, sand it, make it smoother, remove the old layers if necessary. It doesn't have to be, that's up to you. Now determine which blocks I want to give which color. These all here will be black and white, and these one will be blue. Let's start first with blue. I have a paper cup here and some, yeah, this is vintage paint from Action, similar to Dollar Tree here. It is just chalk paint. I'm going to pour that in a cup because I don't have a cup for this yet. Maybe 2 layers are necessary, I don't know. I'm going to paint them. These will be red. I also have blue. I also have red paint, and here is a big can of white paint. This is wall paint. This is also the same wall paint from the construction store where Jenny and I usually buy our paint. And yeah, I just think we'll be just painting away then. Blue, and these will be red and white. Okay, I'm now giving the blocks a second paint job, and therefore I wanted to share you this tip with you. Just paint or put some tape, I've just used this tape, on your working space and fold them around here so the sticky side is on top, and then you can easier paint your small tiny light things that otherwise might just, you know, fly away. You can also use this when you're blow drying your project. And now I can apply the paint a little bit smoother than I did before. So just some small tips. Blocks are dry, paint as well. Oh, a rubble here. And it's time to assemble the cross. So that's what I'm going to do now. Just want to lay down how I had it in mind. This, and then now we see this assembled, we can start gluing away, and therefore I have the hot glue gun here. Make sure that it is pretty hot because then you have the neatest result while gluing. Okay, the cross is complete, but here and there there was a little bit glue that, you know, came out, so I'm going to repair that. Just add a little bit of paint. It especially happened here. Now you won't be able to see that coloring anymore. Let it dry, then it's time to spice it up with some letters. Here I have small letters from some kind of letter box that I bought at Action a while ago, and I don't use them very often, but I like to make 4 July out of it and put it down here. I'm going to beeswax that because this color is a little bit too plain for me. Too peel, sorry. I want it to look older. So just carefully put this aside because I don't want to put bee wax everywhere. I use the same brushes, by the way, every time for bee waxing, because the bee stain is really hard to get off your stuff. Don't bee wax the back, otherwise it won't stick anymore to your project. Last part here. And then I'm going to bee wax the top, and now you can see how it looks. You see the difference? Oh, stay there, you. And we gently dab to make it go everywhere. And the corners. Here you see the difference between a bee wax and a non-bee wax letter. I'm going to keep it like this and then let it dry. However, I think it is a smart idea to glue these together, because once bee waxed, you can't glue them anymore. So I'm heating up the glue gun, putting this together, and then I'm going to bee wax them as well. Here are some stars printed up on the paper. I'm not going to cut them out. I'm going to put the knife upon the stars. Well, yeah, because then you have a cleaner cut. I'm not using the scissors this time. And especially here with these lines, I think cutting them out is a better idea. Okay, I think that's it. Carefully press it with the knife. Okay. A tiny little star. Perfect. Few more to go. There are some little stars. I also have 2 brushes and the glue here. Let me just apply small dots of glue upon those stars here. No, it sticks to the bottle. Then I'm going to brush it out. And then I use a clean brush to brush out any air that might get underneath. There. Now they look like little cupcake decorations. So this is just too much glue. I can't do this properly. Yeah, come here, you. Where shall we put it? Let's see, here. And carefully dab the whole thing into the right place. Just like so. I repeat it with the other stars as well.
set up firecrackers, we are going to make a bottom for 4 pieces like this. Place it against each other and just make a nice little square, but not from 3. That will be a total square, but we are going to make it from 4. So this will be our bottom. We are going to place the last one and press it down. Of course, my glue is already running fast. Now we are going to make 3 blocks on top of each other. Also the same way like we did our bottom. And this is so easy to make, and you can make your home decor look very fast for the 4th of July, and it doesn't cost you almost nothing. So this will be the smaller size, so we are going to make 4 of 3. And this is already almost a number 2. So it really goes very fast. And before I forgot to say, if you made a nice DIY, we would love to see it. So if you are enjoying it, just to show it to you, also to Diane and me, I hope you get our Gmail and just send it to us, because we would love to see what you make. A lot of friends already did, so we are thankful for that. And now number 4, the last one. But of course you don't have to, if you don't feel, how you say it in Netherlands, we say comfortable, but I don't know how you call it in English. But at least if you like to show us, but if you are a little scared, or maybe you don't like to show it, of course you're totally free. But we are so happy that a lot of you do send us your pictures. So we already have 4 of our pieces and 1 on this side. The top we are going to make in the second, but now we're going to glue it together, and it's very easy. Just do it. 1. Of course we place it this way. I almost placed it in the wrong way. We are going to do some glue on this side, and we're going to place this one against each other. And we are going to try not totally a square, but almost a square. And we are going to place this one. And normally we would do it this way, and then you're going to make your own square. But we are going to place it inside like this. So we're going to do some glue over here. And we're going to place it against this one. Again, another wall in between. Squeeze it and press it down until it is dried up. And now we're going to do some glue on this side and some glue on this side. And we are going to place it and squeeze it together this way. And again, squeeze and press it down. And now we almost have our square, but it's, I'm sorry, I'm blinding you. I just see, I'm really sorry. You're blind right now. I'm so sorry. And now we can place it on top of our little 4-piece we just made. And I do this one with some wood glue, because I have the time that it can dry up. So we are going to turn it over, take our wood glue and just place it on top of here, and this way, and this way. And very easily just put it on top of each other and let it dry for, now I think at least a half hour. Our smaller size is drying. Now we're going to make our bottom, and I was already started. You see already, I had already some glue on this one. So this will be number 4, because the bottom will stay the same. So the bottom is just 4 blocks every time, which size you make. At least with my pieces, you don't have to do it, but with my pieces, my blocks stay the same. Now the first smaller size was 3 blocks on top of each other. This one will be 5 on each side. So you just make 5 pieces on top of each other, and do that, of course, 4 times, because we need 4 sides. And this is number 4. And you see the blocks are already a little bit different. like every time. And this is a number 5. See, now we have because we use it this way and not this way, this is already one of the side, and I will do the other 3 a little bit faster. So I have my sides again, and I'm going to place them this way, and we're going to do this one against this one. So we're going to place it inside here again, just the same like we did with the other one. So I'm going to do some glue over here on the side, and I'm going to glue it against each other this way, and we are going to try to get it as close as we can this way. And we're going to take another one, and we're going to do some glue on here, and you can also use some wood glue for this. Now you can use some wood glue for this also. So you don't have to do it the way that I do it, this way. And now we're going to do again some glue on this side, on here, and we're going to do it on here. And see already I am really messing with my glue, and I'm going to place this one against each other and squeeze it and press it down. Make sure you have it in the right line, and we are going to place this one of course on our bottom the same like we did with the other one, and we are going to glue it with some wood glue. So we see we have our smaller size, we have our medium size, and now we're going for the large one. And for the large we are going to do exactly the same. We are going to make the bottom 4 and this is already number 3 on top of here. And this package is again a package with so many different sizes. So like I said in an earlier DIY, I hope you have more luck with your blocks, because here in the Netherlands they are really sometimes you really don't understand why such a difference in sizes. So we have already the bottom stays the same. We are going to do now one side of, we did one of 3, one of 5, and then you already guessing, I think it will be a number 7 blocks. And here in the Netherlands we would say 7. So in Dutch 7 means 7. It's almost the same, only the first letter you change up. You have an S and we have a Z. So it's only a little different. And number 5 is coming over here, and then we're going to do number 6. And the last we will get, and this will be number 7. And then we're going to make also again 4 times a number 7s. So we get a nice row of number 7. And that will be, of course, I do it a little bit faster with some music. So also from the large size of the firecrackers, we have the sizes. What we're going to do again, we do the same like we did with the first and the last. We are going to place it on top of here, and we're going to place this one over here and the other one against here. So I will do this because I will, in a moment, if I do it too long, you will get very bored. So I will place it, glue it together. You see the bigger one is also finished, and we have a 7 one, a 5 one, and a 3 one. But you don't have to do, of course, all the 3 sizes. This is just what I did. But if you like more 1 or maybe 2, it's also fine too. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my tumbling towel blocks and I'm going to make a top for each and every size, but they will be all the same, just like we did with the bottom. But we have to make a little opening for our rope. And before we're going to start, you have to take a couple of your blocks like this, and you have to measure out 3 the same widths. So this blocks can go 3 times inside of one block. So you have to cut them in 3, but in liquid. In ieder geval in Nederlands we say gelijkwaardige stukken. So it's a little bit more of Dutch, but you know what I mean. Your piece have to fit in 3 times the same size over here. So what I'm going to do, because we're going to make the top, we need 1 block this way, we need 1 block this way, and we need 1 this way, and we're going to glue 1 little one over here, and so we get a nice opening here for our rope. So this is very easy. I'm just going to glue this one on this size, and this is 1. I'm going to glue the smaller one first on this size, like this, on this size, on this side. I have to say it right. And now we're going to close it up with this one. So we do a little glue on this side and this on this side, and then we are going to close it up and squeeze it and press it down, so we get a nice closure from our blocks. And this is what you get when you have 3 longer ones and 1 smaller one. And we are going to glue it, but not right now, on top of here. And I make sure that I have a very thick rope, so I'm going to let come 2 pieces of our top will come out from our firecracker. So I will make the other 2 little covers for the top, and then we're going to do our rope inside. I had a little bit of trouble. I had, of course, the top of our firecracker, but the opening was a little bit too wide. Even with my 2 ropes in between, they are even still a little bit too wide. What did I do? I took another piece of this one, so a 1/3 of one of your blocks, and I'm going to had to sand it a little bit, and then we are going to place it in between and do a little bit of wood glue in between, and just let it dry also, and then we can do very easily one and of course the other piece of our rope inside, and then we have our firecracker for the top. And of course we are going to open the rope, but we do that later. First we are going to glue these pieces together, so we have 3 of the same tops of our firecracker, and then we're going to paint it before we go to do the roof inside. For all our 3 firecrackers, I'm going to do a different color. It will be a white, a red, and a blue, but I don't paint it totally. It will be a little bit of distressing. So, but if you like it a little bit better, just to do it in a very different colors, it's also fine too, and maybe some thicker layer, but I'm only going to distress it. So I'm going to take on the white chalk paint, and I just go over it, just that the wood is still coming through a little bit, but do whatever you think is fitting for your decor. I will do all 3 of them in red, white and blue. I have the first one in the white chalk paint, very easy, but of course I also do one of the tops of our firecracker also in the white chalk paint, so very easy also. Just go over it where you think it's needed and make it the color you like. All our pieces are painted and almost dry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little piece of my rope, and I have a little bit of the nautical thicker rope. So I'm going to do 1 on this side and 1 on this side. And I'm just going to squeeze it in. And I'm going to place this inside, and I'm going to pull this out like this, and I'm going to let it hang over, and first I'm going to glue this with my wood glue, and I'm going to glue it on top of each other, and then we're going to work with our yeah, I call firecracker, but at least with the top of our firecracker. I have all three of them glued together, and of course we will see what we were going to do with this one, but at least everything is in its place. What we're going to do, we're going to do on the front, I have three of those little wasp pins. It's very easy. I think you can find them in any store. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this one on the middle over here, and then I'm going to make from cardboard just a simple star, and I'm going to paint that one in the black color because I like a little bit yeah, a different color with it, but choose your color, which one is fitting for your decor. So I'm going to glue this on here. They are very easy, and of course I did this one in some furniture wax because normally, you know, they are not coming in the rustic color, at least not here in the Netherlands. We have them in the black, in the green and white, but I gave this one a furniture wax, and I'm going to glue this on all three of them, and then I'm going to make a cardboard star, and then we're almost finished our little firecracker. So I'm going to do on the back side some glue this way, and I'm going to glue it in the middle of our firecracker. I think I'm going to take for this side and glue it in the middle this way. You see, now you already have your own little wasp pin, and you can do the star just very easily under it, and you can do any sign under it. You can also use a print from our free printables, do it mod-podged on a piece of cardboard, and you can also do a nice little 4th of July print here under. So you see, I just cut out a simple star from cardboard, and I'm going to give it a white chalk paint a layer over it, but like I said, choose any color you like, but I like a little bit a contrastic color. So you see, then he will be black over here. And here you falling into my, building my firecrackers because I didn't like them. I took out the, of course, the rope, so it looks a little bit more on top like a cracker like I did with the first set. And I did this one in the furniture bag totally, and this one also because I like a little bit more of the dark rustic look. For me, he was too bright, and I'm also going to do it with the white with some furniture wax, give it some old look. But this DIY was really a task to do because I don't know what's wrong, but everything is going wrong, which can go wrong. So I will have also my stars in the black color. I don't know if I will keep it that way, but you will see that in a minute. And you see already, I didn't leave them in the black color. They already changed into the white color. And of course, what I could have done is I could have done very easily just show you only the pieces, cut out the pieces I don't like from my DIY, and only show you the things that go right. But I also wanted to show you that everyone has a day that you think, what is going on? So, and I also wanted to show you that because like I always say, and I can't say it enough, we just everyone is just an amateur. We're just going to try to do our best, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So what we're going to do right now is going to take some red paint, and I'm going to do a little bit on my table because I'm going to distress one with red, with blue, and one with some furniture wax, and then we're going to look for if I like that. If I don't, then they probably are going to paint again. And maybe this DIY will take hours and hours and hours before it is good done. But probably you're already gone then by now. But I am still keep going on until I am satisfied how I want to have it. So I'm just going to go over the lines on the sides because we only need a little distressing, you see, to give it a nice old look like this. And I'm going to do it with the red, and I'm going to do it with the, like I said, with the blue and the furniture wax. three stars are just painted in the red, blue and some furniture wax. In a moment you see, of course, a little quick impression of both of our firecracker sets, and of course it is with a twist and it was with a little bit of chaos, but I still hope you are still here and just watching together with me, and then we can see the end look how it turned out.
Love a good patriotic DIY. Well, I do, and yeah, therefore I have my tumbling tower blocks ready and out here again. Oh, this one is broken. And we're going to build a block tower, and therefore I'm going to glue 3 blocks just like so, and do that for 4 layers, so you have a big block which is looking like this. But you can also, I think that's a better idea, do it like this, because I want to paint something, and then I think it's better that you have a straight surface like this. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 blocks, so we need 30 blocks for this DIY. Let me grab some and assemble them in place. I hope I will make it, otherwise I have to open another package, which isn't a big deal. And then 3 again here, 3 here, and these are the last, oh yeah, the last. This one is too small. And we need 3 here as well. Good. Time to start gluing it down. I heat up my glue gun, grab some glue sticks extra because we're going to need a lot of glue, and then we can start gluing around. Here are some extra glue sticks. Already put one in. And then we can start assembling. Let me put these aside. I keep my power cord on. This is one with a battery, but my experience is when you keep it turned on, that the glue then will get hotter, and then you can glue everything better together. So for big stacked things like this, I prefer that way. And it also goes pretty fast, as you can see. Okay, I have several towers now. Time to assemble them as one big thing. Therefore, I work upon the table because this thing here isn't completely flat anymore, because sometimes I blow dry my creations and then it starts curling around. So I'm going to use this surface here. Now just apply some glue in a random way, and then press your next stack of blocks upon it. Press it hard for a while, hold. Let's see if there might be any adjustments necessary. Then you can quickly do that, and then move on to the next layer. And by this you can build your block tower. Here goes the last one. 3 of these, which we're going to stack later on. But first, painting time. I want them to be red, white, and blue, and therefore I have this chalk paint here from Action. Let's give it a quick shake. Oh, I poured it half over the... Okay, now, well, let's paint this one here. Going to make it blue, nice and thick. And the other ones will be white and red as well. Here are dry, ready to craft further, and therefore I printed these 3 stars. I'm going to use them as a silhouette, so I'm going to cut them out roughly, and then with a knife I will cut out the star itself, so I can place that on top of the block. So, let's say just like that, and then I can paint a star, because when I do that by hand it's not gonna look nice. Okay, there we have it. Now we can carefully remove the star, and you can do 2 things. There we are. Just use this, for example, in this way, or you can do this and then draw around. I think this is for now better, because then I can align the whole thing better together with the other blocks. So I'm going to get a drawing pencil, draw around the star, and then I can start filling it in with the color. Everywhere on each block is now a big star, and I'm going to color it in. Well, let's say we put white upon this one, red upon this one, and blue upon this one. Here we go. Okay, we have now 3 stars upon those blocks. I'll let the paint dry really well, and then we can continue to the next step, and I think that is the last step, is a little bit more distressing. Last thing, distressing, and therefore we have the beeswax here. Just about to grab a small brush, dab that into the beeswax itself, And then I always like to rub out the excess part in the lid of the jar. Now let me show it on the white one. Just let me rub around the edges here. Just like so. Don't forget these here. First press gentle, you can always push harder if necessary. Then you get this. Then you make it a little bit more rough. Like so. And if you want to do something extra, you can just wipe back and forth. Like this. I'm not trying to do that upon the star, but only upon the painted surface. Oh, don't forget this side as well. And then you get a little bit of the distress feeling. I don't want to have it too much, but that is just personal taste. You can always add some more.
And for this DIY, we need a couple of things. We need a piece of faux fur, and I always use this kind of little, yeah, you can use them for under your decor. They are only worth €1, so they are very cheap. So, and this faux fur, and I use them for a beard. I use 2 styrofoam balls, but you saw already one was going out of my going out of my table. I have some tumbling towel blocks, some scissors, some brushes, a little pencil, some wax, of course, paint at your choice. I'm using the paint blue and red because we're going to make something for the 4th of July. Some wood glue and some white paint, of course, because we have red, white and blue, and the Dutch is also red, white and blue. So, and a couple of, before I forget, a couple of the prints, and I printed out just from Google a couple of prints we are going to use. So these are the main pieces we need for our on the stand. We're going to make a yeah, kind of a sign, but of course we are going to make it in the 4th of July style. So you'll see how this will turn out. We are going to start with the base of our, yeah, I don't know if it is not really a gnome. It's a little bit like, not a gnome with the huge beard, but of course he has a beard, but not huge as you normally see that you go totally around it. What we're going to do, we are going to start with a block of 5. That's not, and the 5s are pieces of 4. So we're going to make, this is number 3 and a number 4. Then we already have 1 block of the 5. And I see this block of blocks is very bad. I already see. This is a new block. And you see already on the top, you see this one is already bigger and he is totally not cut off straight. He's a little bit wobbly. So, but we have to work with them. We try to get it on the underside, but we will see. And this is block number 2, and I'm going to make 5 of them, but I do it a little bit faster. I have all my 5 pieces over here, and what we're going to do, we are going to glue them together. And of course you can use also some wood glue, but this package is so bad with sizes, is really awful. I never had a package with it so bad like this one. So I'm going to take my wood glue because he is filling it up a little bit better than not my wood glue but my glue from my glue gun, because this is filling it up a little bit better. The only sad thing is that of course the glue from your glue gun is never as sturdy as your glue from your wood glue. Like this. This is already number 3. Now we're going for number 5. And we're going to squeeze this one also on top of here and try to get it not too tight, so that then you can work away a little bit the openings and the width part are a little bit too bad, because they are really, really bad this time. I don't know what happened. And we are just going to squeeze it this way, and I don't know why my glue gun is already stopped with it. I have really no idea. But he also is he's had it already, and it is only morning and he's already done with everything. He's already going out by himself. That is not a great thing to start a day. This is our 5 pieces and we are going to do it this way. And you see already here it's just an opening over here like this, and you see already he's already falling apart. You see the glue is already gone. The glue is gone. Also, this is DIYing, everyone, so just bear with yourself, give yourself some grace, because also with everyone else there is some trouble with DIYing, so don't worry, it doesn't matter, you still can make your own little decor, because I'm just an amateur just like you. So now I hope it will stay in place. That's what I mean with wood glue. So this is our 5 piece like this, and what we're going to do, we're going to place it this way. We are going to take now 2 blocks, but we are not going to glue it yet, but we're just going to I mean we're going to glue it, but not glue it on the place it's supposed to go. So because I show you, this will be the top of the head, so I showed you this way. So and now I can work away the opening, and this is for the head. So this is how we will be. And but we're not going to glue it, because we're going to paint it or do some print over it. Now we are going to make the hands over here, because this will be the head with his beard. And now we're going to make a couple of hands. I don't know, you don't have to do it, of course. I make the hands, but you don't have to do that. And I make the hands this way. So I'm just going to take 2 blocks with our cutting off the sides, just a little piece. And I'm going to place it over here, and I'm going to look for how he's fitting inside of here. So I'm going to do some glue over here, and I'm not going to glue it yet, because also this one we will have to see what I'm going to do with it. And this way, this is already one of his arms, and now we're going to get his other one and looking if he's fitting like this. And of course we have to look if he's over here, and I think I did it quite nice to glue it. So but you can do it with an easy hand saw. Just you don't have to, I used a jigsaw, but you don't have to use a jigsaw, of course. And be careful with that you don't burn yourself. So we already have 2 of our hands, because we are making it look like that he has pockets. So we also take 2 of the smaller blocks. This is just 1 block, but in half. You just cut it, you make a line and you just cut it in half, and you have 2 loose pieces like this. And I'm going to use one over here, and I'm going to cut off right now a little piece of this one, because we are needing only this part, because I don't know how it's possible, but normally he is fitting totally like this. So I'm going to cut it off, and you see here, and now I have the bigger one and the smaller blocks, and we are going to make this is supposed to be the top of his trousers, and then you see his hands is going in to the pockets of his trousers. At least that's what I try to to show you. But what we're going to do now, I think we have almost part. We are only going to glue these 2 together also, so we already have all the parts we need, and then we're going to decide which part we're going to paint and which part we are going to do with some print. But of course, first I'm going to glue this part together, so we have all the parts loose, and glue it this way. And I think already I needed to turn a couple this way. And now we are going to place it over here, and now he's fitting here. What we're going to do, I have to decide if I do it this with the stars or stripes or blue or red. I will decide. So in a moment you see what I will do. I decided for the top I'm going to use this blue and white stripe. So I'm going to measure it out. If I am correct and I have it this way, if I cut it with this blue line, then I probably hope I'm sitting okay. I'm going to do one block, so this will be, the size will be over here. So I have to measure it out. I'm sorry, I have to turn it this way, because you can, of course, you can use your ruler and measure it out, but I'm always a little bit lazy about this. So we will see if I'm correct, or maybe I'm totally wrong. So we will see, like this, and we are going to cut it to this line. We only need one block, and I'm going to leave it a piece over a little bit, because then I can sand it with my sanding tool. I think I like that a little bit better. So we are going to do it a little bit on the rough way. We are going to do some Mod Podge just on top of here. Just go over it and place, in a moment you place your print over it, and the rest which is not over it, we are going to later everything in the furniture rack. So don't worry, later you won't see it anymore. So I'm going to go over and make sure that on both of the sides are, yeah, I'm going totally right this, and just move your fingers over it and take the pattern of your print, and just so we can let it dry, and then we go over with some sanding. Now we are going to do, of course, the red stars, and I'm going to place it also over here. I think a little this way. I think I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to cut it over here. And also, but the stars we are going to do 2 blocks long. I have to first, I have a measure out where I'm supposed to be, because I want a little piece of the stars over here, and I'm going to cut a little over here like this, and I'm going to have to look like this. I'm going to go down. We measure out 2 of the blocks this way, and now I'm going to look if I am correctly. I have to look this way, and of course this, and I have to cut it a little bit because he's not totally straight. But it doesn't matter totally, because you still are going to place some belt around it. So again, we are going to have it, and we are going to Mod Podge it. And this looks like a real disaster. If you if you look like it, it really looks like, what's he doing? I really sometimes have no clue myself, but for now I think he will turn out okay. So I'm going to go a little bit over the blue line, because this also will be the head, and or else he doesn't glue quite nice. And always the wood is sucking in a little bit of your Mod Podge, so take too much, or take a little bit more than you would used to, and again place it over it this way, and again go over the sides, the lines like this, and over this side, and let it dry again. And what we're going to do now, we are going for the underpiece. I'm going also for the blueprint, and I already have my measurement. I only need to go a little bit further because it's 2 blocks. So I'm going to go this way. And if you are a little bit bored how I make it, please skip forward. I totally understand. This is not everyone's thing, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look how far I need to have it, because or else we have too much overlay. And don't worry, this looks really bad right now, but we are going to sand it, so don't worry, everything will be fine. And we are going to go again over this one and over here. It is very easy to make, and I'm going to make probably 2 of them, so, and the other one will be decorated different. And for this one you don't see a lot of his stars because his beard will be there. This is the last piece, and then we're going to let it dry. This way, and go around the edges and with your fingers like this, then you can sand it a little bit better. So this way, and we are going to let it dry. In the meantime, while our pieces with print are drying, and you see how easy it was, just a print on top, midden, and of course this one, these are 2, these are 2, this is 1. We're going to take the blue. I'm going to take the blue color for the piece of his head, and of course for his belt, or at least the top of his trousers, just how you call it. So I'm going to take the dark blue and I'm going to give this, I think it needs a little bit more than 1 color. You see already he's not covering very well, only when you do it a couple of times. So I will do this blue, I will do his, like I said, his bell blue, and his arms I will do in the red color, but of course you can choose any color you like. If you like a white better, do whatever you think is right. So I'm going to paint this. Our other parts are drying right now, and now we are going to take the part we did Mod Podge, and of course wait until it is dry, really dry, because that's better working. I have here my sanding tool. This is a very easy sanding tool. You can buy them, I think, at Dollar Tree, but I probably you think you have it laying around in your home. And you also can use a sanding paper, but be careful if you use a sanding paper which is colored, because this is white and sometimes the color of your sanding paper will come loose, and then you get colored corners. So that's not what you want. Corners or sides, just so you call it. I can't come up the word. So but if you use this very easy, just go over it like this until it is coming up. Very easy. I will show you only 1 piece because this makes a lot of noise. So you see the paper has to come out. You see already this is coming loose, and I pulled it a little bit too hard, but I will do this with some new Mod Podge. But you see, just go over it and then your paper will get loose. See? And you get a nice little distressed side. If you don't want it to have a distressed side, then you have to measure out and just cut it exactly on your which is fitting over here. But for what I'm going to use, because I'm going to do also some furniture wax on top of here. And here you see how he's turning out when you did sand the sides, and I'm going to give it some furniture wax later on, and of course also the back side and the stand where he is standing on. So but first we are going to try to make a beard. So I have the piece of the faux fur for my thing, and I used it already for another DIY. I have more than one. I'm going to measure out the side from this side to this side, and I take some pencil on the back side. So I'm going to turn it over because I work from the back side of my little piece of fur like this, and I'm going to place this, and I'm just going to take 1 little dot over here and a dot over here. And now I'm going to look for where I want to have my beard. I don't want it too long. I think maybe over here. So I will make a nice shape for the beard and then I'm going to cut it out, but I'm going to do that in my garage because this is giving one big mess. But as you see it in a moment how the shape is turning out. So I did cut out our beard and like I said, I didn't make a very big beard because if you want to go totally on the back side, it's also fine too, but I only love it on the front. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Mod Podge and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do this under some Mod Podge because you have to glue it on your space over here, and I thought maybe I can use some Mod Podge, maybe it's even better than I use other glue. So we will see if this will turn out, or maybe this will be one disaster. So we will see how this will look like. But of course, if I do the mistakes, you don't have to make them. So that's already the greater thing when I do it for you. So I'm just going to place it over here and now I'm going to keep it. I have to look that I have it exactly in the middle, especially the little point under it. So I'm going to stand out for, and I'm going to try to place it over here like this, and I'm going to just squeeze it in and just let this dry also a couple of minutes. So the beard is almost dried up. What I did, I just measured out a little bit with my eyes where is the middle of the head where I want to have my nose. So I go a little piece of the beard from the top and I'm going to make a little hole in his fur like this, so you get a nice little opening where you can place your nose. And I'm going to do some glue on top of here. Just let it fall on here and just do enough because we don't want his nose to fall off. And I'm going to place it exactly in the middle and just keep it in place for a little moment. And look if you have it also in the middle. And let it dry at least the seconds that it needs. Keep it in place for a little moment because it is fur, and fur is always fabric, and fabric is always, yeah, I don't know, it's not drying always the fastest. So I always like to keep it in place for at least when it is dried up, and it is a little bit longer, so you have to wait with me a little bit longer, a little bit longer. But I will cut this piece off if this takes too long. And of course it is already steady, but of course I still wait a couple of minutes. And here you see how he's turning out with his nose, and I didn't do any work on it because I do that later. I will fold of course the faux more to his nose. Everything will be okay. I'm going to do this one and I'm going to place it over here and I squeeze it real tight down until his nose. But first I'm going to make sure on this side that my fur is coming off like this, of higher. I don't know how you say that. At least you see what I do, that is coming up and you don't have the fur inside of your little two block tumbling towel blocks like this. And we're going to squeeze it under here. And of course we don't need to glue the whole piece because or else we are sitting outside of our frame. So I'm going to work this higher. And then we're going to do some glue. And of course you can also use this time some wood glue, but you don't need much steadiness because this won't fall off. So maybe I can show it to you maybe sideways, it's a little bit better. Of course I just did my glue gun out, so I am really sorry that it takes a little bit longer. And I think maybe I can go over it on this display. It's a little bit better this way. And now I'm going to place my piece and I'm going to squeeze it and press it down, and make sure that you keep also this one in place for a little moment. And you see, now we already have the top of our little Uncle Sam. At least I think you call them Uncle Sam if I wrote it right. So, and now I'm going to work with my fur and just go to the nose and around the nose and everywhere. So like this. So give it a nice little look. So what we're going to do right now, we are going to do his belt of the top of his trousers. We are going to do over here. So we go do the beard a little bit this way and we go down in a moment. So we again, we are going to place it this way. I think I'm going to turn this block this way. I think I like that a little bit better. This way. So I'm going to do some glue on the line exactly over here. So, and I'm going to place my block in between. Make sure that you squeeze it real tight and again remove your glue this way. And now we only need to do our hands. Before I'm going to glue the hands, of course, I will show you how he's looking like right now. And I'm really happy with it. So, and now we only need to glue the, of course, I need to do this one on this side because I haven't turned it over. And we're going to do it as low because it has to look like he has his hands inside the pockets of his trousers. At least that's my imagination. If you think it looks really bad, don't do the hands. But I think it looks very nice. But of course you can do anything you like. But I'm going to glue this on the side. So I'm going to turn it over. And I make sure that I have one on this. I have to do the beard a little bit inside. So I don't want to have glue on it. So I'm doing some glue over here and some glue over here. And I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to look where I want to have it over here, squeeze it and press it down. And I'm removing the glue like this. And now, of course, now I'm going to have also the beard a little bit inside. And we're going to do some glue and over here. And I have to stand up so I see that I have it on the same spot, because or else he looks very strange. This way. And of course I remove the glue again. And now Uncle Sam has also his hands. We are going to need, of course, to wax it and he gets his stand, but first I'm going to make the second one. For our second Uncle Sam, we are going to repeating the same. Of course, again, we are making the blocks from 4 pieces. So we're going to make 5 pieces of 4 again. So of course I do one together with you again, but the rest I will do, of course, a little bit faster. And you see already 4 pieces, and now we're going to make 5 blocks of this one. We have our 5 pieces again, and we are going to do just like we did with the first Uncle Sam. We are going to place it against each other like this. And like I told you, I didn't separate it. This was the worst packages I had. Also here you have a totally open gap over here, so I will use this one again for placing the 2 blocks over here, because they are so, I think, like I said, this is the best of the worst blocks ever. So I hope you have better luck with your blocks, because this is a real task to work with, because you are always hoping that they are in a straight line, but they aren't, so we have to do it with it. So again, I have to place them this way. Maybe this is doing better. And I'm going to do the last piece. And also you see here is an open gap, but because we use the print, you don't see it. So now we already have this one. We are going to glue the 2 little pieces we make for the top of our trousers. I have to look if I have it like this. A little dot of glue, and again glue it against each other this way, so he is also glued together. And we are going to take this one and we are going to have them glued this way, because I have to be sure that I have it on the right spot glued, because or else my arms are not fitting. And we already have the two sides of this arm. This already one, and we already have this one, and we are going to glue this one also together. Of course, I have to look if everything is fitting all right, and I'm going to do some glue over here, and we are going to glue this one also this way. Again, this is number 2, of course, our belt or our top of our trousers, and we only need the 2 blocks which are making the head. And then we already have all the pieces we need for Uncle Sam number 2, like this. So now we're going to do some print on it. I did for the first Uncle Sam, I used this stripe for the top, but I have it also in the dark red color. So I'm going to take a piece of the dark red for this side, and I'm going to do some, I think I'm going for the stripes of a black and white, of blue and white stripes over here, and I don't know, maybe the stars, I think the blue and the white stars, this one I'm going to do in the middle, and for the underside I'm going to take the red stripes again. So we will see how this will turn out. It's a little bit a mixture of how I want to have it, so you will see in a moment. I measured out my first stripe, so I'm going to take my Mod Podge again. I'm doing it a little bit faster because you don't want that I do everything totally in the new because you already saw this piece before. So I'm going to lay this on top of here, and also don't forget a little bit the sides, because you are going to over your print with your fingers. So make sure that you have it over here and it is in line like this. Yeah, and just squeeze it and go over the lines, so you make a sharp side like this, and go over it, and this way. Now we're going to make from the blue and the white stars, we are going to make, of course, I'm going to do this over here, and I'm going to do 2 blocks. So I have to look that I have 2 blocks this way, and I need to cut it over here. So I'm going to cut off this piece like this, and I'm going to measure out where I need to have it, almost here. It doesn't matter, like I said in the Uncle Sam number 1, it doesn't totally matter where you do, because we are going to sand it off. Again, some Mod Podge over the 2 layers, and you see already it's sucking really into the wood. So we are going over it, and also we don't forget the sides, a little over the lines over here. And I'm going to place this one against the other one, and the stars are over here. So, and again, squeeze it and press it down over here, the same like we did with the other. And now we only need the bottom, and of course we can do the bottom in the red and white stripes like this. I think I like this a little bit better than I do the stars, because we already had the stars. So I'm going also for this one, so I'm going to cut off this piece a little bit under here, like this one, and we are going to Mod Podge the under piece of Uncle Sam. And this is, if you have questions, of course, leave them in a comment down below. If I do something you think, what is she doing? But probably most of the time you are thinking that, but don't worry about that. But if you have a question, you want to know how I do things, or maybe you want another question, just ask. I'm going to lay it over here, and I have to be sure that I have it the stripes this way, and again squeeze it and make a sharp line around it this way, and on the underside. So we are going to let this piece dry also, and then we're going to sand it again. Our print is dried up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to sand it again, just like we did with Uncle Sam number 1. I did like I did with the first one, sand it out everything, and I'm going to do again the beard. I have the same size beard that I had in the first one, so I just draw it over, so you always have 2 pieces. What I'm going to do, I'm doing again some Mod Podge in the inside, just very easily, just go over all the pieces of the beard like this, and just make sure that it will suck in a little bit, but it doesn't matter. So this way, and everything has to be under the Mod Podge, and I'm going to place it, of course, on the, I have to be standing up again, and I'm going to try to get him in the middle, because, but he's yes, he's not working with me, he's against me. And I'm going to place it over here and make sure that Uncle Sam is like this, and I'm going to, of course, I'm press it down just like we did with the first one again, and make sure that our lines are very nice. So we go this way and we remove the loose pieces of the faux fur, and I used white, but you can use any color, and I did some prints, but of course you also can use some scrapwood paper. You can do it in any color. I did it from Google, like I said, but you can, you probably have a paper laying around, maybe for wrapping some presents. You can use anything. You don't have to make this for the 4th of July. You can do it any way you like. What I'm going to do, if everything is pressed down, I am going to find again the middle, and I'm going to make a little opening for our nose, like this again. Just try to get it over here and open up, so he can go as deep as you can, this way. So we have our opening, we have of course our styrofoam ball, and you can also use a bead, because he's probably better to paint than mine, because I don't really like how this one is painted, so I have to go look for different paint, because this one is really bad. So I'm going to place it, and I'm going to squeeze it, and like I did with the first one, I have to press it down in a moment, but I will shorten this up. My nose is dried up right now. I'm going to do the hairs a little bit this way, so I can make very easily my top of my head over here. So I'm going to do some glue on this side of my Uncle Sam, of course. I'm going to do some glue this way, like over the line, and I'm going to place my piece over here, squeeze it and press it down, and I have to be sure that I have it in the middle, this way. And I let this dry also a couple of minutes. So you see, Uncle Sam has already his head on, and now we need our little belt, and we are going to do a little piece of the beard away, and we are going to, I have to remove a little bit of the glue, or else everything is under it. I'm going again over the line this way, and I'm going to place this one over here, and I have to be sure that I have it in a straight line like this. So everything is glued together. Now we only need, of course, our hands, and they will be over here, and one will be over here. I have to get some blue because this is already coming out. So this is not, I thought it was dried up, but it did let loose a little bit, but I will do that in a minute. So I'm going to glue his arms, of course, on the sides and on this side. And make sure that you don't have them too low. This way, and we're going to do the other one, and we have to make sure that they are both on the same height, because or else one hand is longer than the other one. So I go on and stand along and this way, and I'm going to get my paint, and I'm going to paint the blue a little bit darker because I don't like the lighter color right now. Both our Uncle Sam's are ready for some furniture wax. What I'm going to do, because they still need a stand that they can stand up on their own, so we're going to do 2 against each other, and again another 2 against each other like this, and we are going to squeeze it, and we are going to glue these 2 together, so we get a nice little bottom for our Uncle Sam, of course we call it, like this. And of course I remove the glue, and this, how simple is this? Just 4 of this one, and I'm going to glue, of course, Uncle Sam, and this is how our first Uncle Sam turned out, and I think he's so cute. So I'm going to glue this, and I'm going to glue this on top of here. You see already the back side still needs some furniture wax, so I'm going to do some glue under it over here, and make sure that he stays in place. And I have to be sure that I have it in the middle, this way. And now I have to look if he's standing up straight, and I remove the glue we don't need. And you see now he already has his own little stand, and this one we also do in some furniture wax. So both of them are almost finished. So the last touch, what we're going to do, I'm just going to take my furniture wax and I'm going to go over it and give it a nice rustic old look. But of course, be careful that you don't hit your print if you don't want to. So I'm going to do it with some wider brush and a little bit of the smaller one. So take your time for it, and in a moment you see how both of them turned out. For this DIY we need, of course, our tumbling tile blocks, our glue gun, some furniture wax or some paint at your choice, some glue sticks, and of course some brush if you are going to paint it, and some wood glue. These are the main pieces which we will need. And I'm going to make a 2-tier tray because I love making them and I use them in my decor every time. So I am really happy to make one again. So we will see how this one will turn out. We are going to build our 2-tier tray from the bottom until the top. And we are going to start first with the bottom, and we are going to glue a little square together. It's very easy. We did this kind of squares already a long time. So I'm going to make one of them first. I'm going to glue some, I have to be that I'm not doing it wrong, because else I show it to you different square that I mean, like this. And you see already, now we have 3 blocks on this, and now we only need some glue on this side and on the smaller line around this block. And now the other one is fitting over here. But a lot of you who are here already for a long time know already how to make this kind of squares. And this is already the first base of our tier tray. We are going to do now some glue in the middle, and we are going to place one upside down like this. This is one. We are going to make a second one, and again place it on top, squeeze it real hard this way, and we are going to make number 3 this and squeeze it and press it down again. And now we're going to go for number 4, and that will be our last for our base. And this way, squeeze it and press it down. And I'm going to glue on each side of my square. I'm going to glue one of the feet this way, so we get a nice steady base where our tea tray can stand on. But I'm going to do that with some wood glue, not some glue from a glue gun, but this time I want to make sure that it is really steady. So that's why I'm going to glue it with my wood glue, just a little dot in the middle, and maybe you can leave them a little, I think maybe in 10 minutes this way, and then place them together and in the middle, and just wait 10 minutes, and then you are going to glue them on each side. So I let it dry for 10 minutes, and now I'm going to place them against each other in the middle, and we're going to do one on each side. Of course, you can do this way, and you can place this one on this side, and we are going to do one on this side and one on this side. And now we are going to let it dry for at least a half hour. Our frame is dried up, so we have already the start of the base of our tier tray. What we're going to do, I don't know if it will, I said 2, but maybe it will be 3. I have really no idea. What we're going to do, I'm going to make this one one higher. So I'm going to take my blocks again, and I'm going to make this one the same like we did the first one. So glue one of the blocks, and I'm going to do the other one like this. I'm going to glue this. Yo, at least if I get it off my table, and I'm going to do it this way and squeeze it and press it down. And I have to remove, you see already the glue is coming out. I have to be, because or else it looks very I say unfinished, but I don't like if the glue is on the outside. But I think everyone who follows me already for a long time knows I'm always saying remove your glue, because I think they can dream it already and they can hear it anymore. So I'm going to do a line over here, very easy, and again place this one in between over here and squeeze it and press it down this way. And we are going to glue this one with some wood glue, because we want to make sure that our tier tray is very steady and we don't want to that is falling off. So we are going to do it this way. You can do it in the same length, the blocks, but you also can change it up and do this one this side over. I'm going for this way. So it's very easy. Just get your wood glue and do some glue on the top over here and like this, and leave it for a half hour. Again, place it on top of here, make sure that it is a one line, and we are going to make another one of 4, the same like we did the first one. Again this way, and I have to be sure that I have to squeeze it on here, because or else we get an open gap. I saw already with one of the blocks, the first one, I also had an open gap, so I did have to change it up. And I always say also the mistakes I make, so you don't have to make them anymore. So I'm doing some glue here and glue this one and squeeze it like this. And now we're going to do the last over here and over here and glue it together, and of course try to squeeze it in this way, and you have again a nice square. And we are going to glue this also on top of here with some wood glue. But first I'm going to look for if I don't have some issues with my glue on here, and also on here. You see here's a little bit of glue, so So I have to remove it, and I'm going to do again some wood glue. And I understand if this is very boring for you. I totally understand. And what I want to say, if you have questions, of course, totally forgot. If you have questions, leave a comment down below and I would really love to answer them. So if you have something to ask me, so I always happy to tell you what I do or what you want to know. So leave a comment down below. Here you see now everything is glued together. I have 3 blocks in a row, and of course on the under block I did 2 pieces. But what I'm going to do, I did measure it out, and this is not high enough because I want to, I think I'm going for a 3-tier tray because it will be a patriotic tier tray. So I need a little bit more. So I'm going to make 3 of these squares again, but I won't bore you with that because or else you are already a while away on another DIY. So I'm going to make 3 of them, and I'm going to place them, of course, also on top of here. So in totally you have to make 6 of this kind of squares. All 3 of my blocks are ready, and I'm going to glue them on top of here the same way like we did with the other one, just with some simple wood glue. So, but I bore you also not with that, so you will see it when everything is put together. I glued my middle piece of my tier tray together, and I let it dry because I did it with some wood glue. So I want to let it dry for at least a half hour. What we're going to make the tablets, the tableau, at least how you call it, the little trays you have on the on the middle piece. I'm going to make 3 blocks together. And this is just an experiment. I really have no idea if I come out with my measurements, but we will see. So I have to try just 3 like this, squeeze it and press it down. We are going to lay it like this. I have to remove the glue, sorry about that. You see, my blocks are already running away from me. They don't even like it anymore. I'm going to do 2 of the blocks. I'm doing with some glue on the sides. I take 1 block and I'm going to lay it against 2 of the blocks this way, so we get a nice little corner. I'm going to get another block and I'm going to glue this one also over here because I want to have a different size. And of course now again the second one of the third one of my second piece like this. And we are going to let this dry, and I'm going to make 3 of them. I don't know if I will use them, but you never know. Maybe I have room for 3, but that depends on how it is looking like, because I'm really sometimes a little bit strange what I like or not like. So don't mind me, just do whatever you think it's right. Just place this way. We're going to do some glue on this 2, and we're going to glue again this one against it, and the other 2 are just very similar, just like this one. So I will make in a moment number 3, but I won't, like I said, I won't do it on camera because you won't like it anymore on the meter. So we have already 2. I'm going to make 3 and then we're going to paint them. I have all 3 of them. I will place you a little bit behind like this. Now you can see it a little bit better. So I have 3 pieces and I have my paint, and I have the dark blue, the white, the red and some black, but I think I have enough on this one. So, and these are also the colors of our flag of the Dutch. So the Netherlands also have red, white and blue. So a little bit similar. It's only a little different of pattern. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use those 2 little containers, and I'm going to do some red inside, and I'm going to do 1 red, 1 white and 1 blue. But I'm not going to do it totally painted, just a little in the middle piece, because I want to give it a little bit of distressing. And with my furniture wax, I will make it look older. So I will, but you see it in a moment. I'm going to start with the red color, and I use a little bit of a smaller brush because I want only the blocks inside. So just do some red on your brush and dab it off. so you don't have too much. And I'm going to start with red on here and just go over it and just give only a touch of red, but not too much. It only has to look like it is red, at least for me. But if you like it totally in the red, white and blue, just color it. But maybe you can then take 2, 4, 6 blocks of red, 6 blocks of white and 6 blocks of blue, and then glue this together, because that's a little bit better to paint, because or else you paint everything under it. So 6 of all of them, and then you already have the same, and then glue it together and you're also finished. So I'm going to go like this, just go over the middle and just a little bit out of it. There's no rhyme or reason how, and of this one has to need a little bit more of the red this way, and I'm going to do all of them in red, white and blue the same way. When it's dry, it's much difficult to get it away. I showed you in a moment, so I hope you have a little moment, a little patience, because I want to remove the glue. And now I hope, of course, I have it straight and not hanging down. So you see, this is what I mean. Now you already have one, and I'm going to do the other one this way, and I'm going to do it a little higher. You can do it like this, and then the other one this way, but you can do it this way, and the other one over here. Choose any way you like. This is just what I like, but what you like, go ahead, do whatever you think is right. So I'm going for this side, and I'm going to do the other one in the opposite direction. All my stages are on top of here, and of course it looks a little bit strange, but don't worry, it will look okay. So I hope you have a little bit faith in me. What I'm going to do, before I'm going to do everything in the wax color, I'm going to make 3 little easy signs again. I make them a lot, so a lot of you who are here already for a long time know already how I make my little signs. And you can use them in any tier tray you like. So I'm always doing 3 blocks on top of each other like this. Squeeze it and press it down. And of course you have to remove it. And then we remove the glue. And you see this block is already a little bit in size higher than the other one. I don't know why. So you see, this is a very easy 3 block. I'm going to for the fall season, you can do anything on top of it. So, and they are so easy to make. So I'm going to do the rest, and then we're going to place the other pieces on top of our tray, because there will be, I always have a package from wooden pieces, and I found this kind of pieces. I think maybe you can use them as figurines. You can do some little eyes on top of it, some nose, and you can use them for anything. But I am going to use them in black, in the red, white, and blue. And of course, I'm going to glue them together, 2 bigger ones and 1 smaller one. And I hope that it looks a little bit like 2 people and one small one. So we will see how this will turn out. But first, we're going to paint them. My little wooden pieces are drying right now. What we're going to do, we are going to do our 3-tier tray. We are going to do it in some furniture wax, and we are going to do the little signs also with some furniture wax. And this is just dry, I think maybe 10-15 minutes, then it is dried up, and then we're going to decorate it. I'm using a very cheap brand of furniture wax, and this is so easy to use. But you can use, of course, if you use a brand is also fine too, but I always say the cheaper the better, but that's not always the question, because I was painting just with the red and the blue, and this was from a brand that is really, it calls acrylic paint, but it doesn't cover anything. So the cheaper the better is not always a great thing. So I'm going to get my furniture wax, and I'm going to go over the sides of our sign, and I'm doing this with a smaller brush because we don't want to get it on top of our print. But the rest we are going to do with a little bigger brush like this. But I'm going to take my time to do my signs. So in a moment you see everything in some furniture wax. Just wanted to show you the difference you see when you do some a piece in some furniture wax or not. And you see how nice it turns out with some furniture wax. Of course, you can also, I didn't say that, but of course you can also paint the underground of the sign with some white paint, with some red. So do whatever you think. I like the rustic and old feeling. So I am really happy how the old rustic coloring is coming back. So I just wanted to show you also which possibilities you have. So the signs are made and our a tier tray, different tier tray. I have to say it's a different one. It is not a usual usual one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my little figurines and I'm going to glue them together. So I'm taking a little bit of my glue from my glue gun and I'm going to glue in between here, and I hope that I glue it right, that I stuck and immediately all three of them. So I hope this will work out okay. So, and then I'm going to go over it with some furniture wax over all three of them to give them also the nice rustic look we have over here. And of course we have on our tray, because the white is not totally white anymore. I gave it a little bit of the creamy old white. At least I think it is creamy old white, but you can decide for yourself. So I'm just going to go a little bit, some glue over here, a little bit more, so I can place it in between. Well, you see already, I am already stuck to myself, and now I have to be very quick before he dries up, and I place it in between here. You see already, also things can go wrong with some DIYing. See, this is glued together, but look at me, I am also glued to my glue. I will remove this. We're going to do all three of them. Now all our pieces are glued together, and before I do some piece of twine over it, I'm going to give it a rustic look, and I'm going to take my furniture wax and I'm going over it to give it a more old, yeah, distressed look. I don't know how you call it. At least I go over all the pieces, and of course also the white. And you would say the white, why did you call it white? Because the white is still coming through, but I like a little bit more of the rustic color. So, but of course you don't have to do it. If you just like it in the totally white color, it's totally fine, because this is just me, and don't mind me. So I am going a little bit more for the brown creamy color like this, and now he's fitting more with my yeah, different tier tray. Let's keep it that way. You see, now I have a little bit distress color. I will do all three of them. So I give my little wooden pieces a furniture wax coat. You see already he's a little bit more distressed right now, and I think he's fitting more with the tray and of course with my signs. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some glue in the almost under it in the two pieces like this, and I'm going to place some twine over here. And I have a little bit of the thinner twine, so he's not very big. So I wait until it is dried up, and then I'm going to make a couple of turns around the little figurines like this. And it doesn't matter how you do it. And I already have a knot over here. That's not what I want to have. So I have to get it out. So I want to be sure that it's very stuck on here, like this. And I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to glue it on the back side over here. And I'm doing some glue in between and lay my piece of rope or twine inside here and keep it in place for a little moment, and so you get a nice touch of your twine. But of course you can do a piece of ribbon. If you have maybe you have 4th of July ribbon, then you are really lucky, because here in the Netherlands we don't have that. So of course we don't have we don't have it. We don't have the beautiful decorations here in the Netherlands. We have on the 29th of April we have a King's Day, but we don't have decoration for it, for decorating your house like you all have. So we have of course our flags, our cups and plates and that kind of thing, but not really decorations. So I'm going to do all three of them. Now almost everything is done. What I'm going to do of course also some twine on in between, because you see a little bit of glue in the bead and of course in my piece of wood, and I don't like it, so I do a little glue in between, just like this. Place my twine inside of here, just squeeze it and push it a little bit down with your scissors like this. And I'm going to wait until it is dried up, and then I do a couple of turns, not a lot because it's not too much space. So I'm going to go over it like this, and I'm going to cut it off over here, and I'm just going to turn it over and do some glue on my piece of twine. Place it over it like this and remove the glue we don't need, of course also from our bead, because we don't want glue everywhere. So we have a piece of twine over here, and now I'm going to go, because I want in between also a couple of turns of twine over here and over here. So I'll do it on 3 places. Just do some glue in the middle, lay your twine inside of it, wait until it is dried up, and then do a couple of turns, and again cut it off and just remove your glue. Again a couple of turns like this, and I'm going to go over it and over here, maybe 5 or 6 times, just as much as you like. I'm going to cut it off this way, do some glue on the piece of rope, and I'm laying the piece of rope inside of course the glue this way, and I'm keep it in place for a couple of seconds until it is dried up. And now you also have a piece of twine in between. I will do all 3 of them. You see already a little peek of how my tea tray turned out, but I was still missing something. I was missing a little cute planters, and I thought, what can I use for plants, because it is very small. So I'm going to make together with you the same blocks like we did, and I'm going to show to you how easy it is just to for your tea tray. If you can place it somewhere behind, it's always very easy to make your own unique little. And of course I should have weight of my like this, and I have to squeeze it down this way, and we are going to make again a line over here. We are going to glue this on this side, and we are going to make another one, which we are made already so many, and we are going to do some over here, and we're going to do some over here. And I'm going to make, oh, this block is totally wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but he's not okay. He's not. In the Netherlands, we would say a miskleun. So you see, he's totally, one strip is off our block. Maybe you can see it this way a little bit better. He's totally, I'm going to do some furniture wax on top of here, so we get a nice little square again. We are going to do some furniture wax. Of course, I have to remove this glue, the tops, and just I try to do it as fast as I can, because I just wanted to show you how easy it is just to make your own little planter. And a little over here, because we are going to do it, if we do it right. We do some wax on the side, but you can do some paint, but this is faster, and I have everything in the wax like this. And again the side number 3, and the last side we are going to take a piece of kitchen towel, and we are going to wipe off It is one disaster. So you see already, this is my canvas. What I'm going to do, because I don't use the insides, I'm going to glue them on top of each other. So I'm going to do some wood glue over here, and I'm laying this one on top of here because I'm making a thicker height. So for me, it doesn't matter, but always when I see people do it so easily, I feel so, yeah, stupid, but at least I feel so dumb that I don't get it the way. And they do whoop, bop, bop, and everything is right. So I show you also that don't worry, if it's not going right with you, it is also not going right with me. I'm going to get my wood glue and I'm going to glue this together and let it dry for at least half an hour. What I did do, because the nails also didn't come out, they all broke off. So I let them in and I hammer them with my hammer totally into the wood. So it doesn't matter if everything is correct, then he will glue together. At least I hope I will, but also with everyone else, it does glue immediately. With my, it doesn't. So if it doesn't happen to you, don't worry. You see, it happens with everyone. So maybe I always love to show you also things that go wrong, because no DIY is going perfect, at least not the most of them. So I'm going to place this on top of here and I'm going to do some paint cans on top of it to give it a little bit more pressure, so it gets a nice touching to each other like this. So I leave this for an hour, half an hour. And do you want to see DIYing in real life? This is this is real life. I just throw everything up what I can find to give it some pressure. So it is one big mess, but we let it dry. And here you see how the heart turned out. I glued it together so you still can see a little bit through it on the top, but it's just a little piece of my canvas. I need to cut it out, but you see it was a big task just to get it get it right already. What we're going to do right now, we are going to give it some furniture wax, because and then I can let it dry at least also a half hour, so it can suck into the wood real good, because I love the rustic color. And then we're going to make with tumbling tile blocks our frame for over it. But first I'm going to give it some furniture wax. So you see how he's changing. He's totally give it a nice darker rustic look. But if you like more of the farmhouse style with the white colors, of course go ahead, do it in the white colors. And I did a heart, like I said, because I had it laying around. But of course, if you have a square or some other shape, go ahead, do whatever you think is right. Just don't pay too much money for making a DIY. So I'm going to finish this off, and then we're going to do the next step. I did the whole heart with the furniture wax. Of course, I did one side I left open, because I'm going to glue some blocks on top of here. So, and it glues better when you don't have your wax on it. So I did the sides, the inside, and of course the back side. I did with some furniture wax, and I let it dry. And now I'm going to get my tumbling tile blocks and my print, and we are going to make our print blocks. Our heart is drying, and we are going to make, Diane has also made a heart with the farmhouse rustic style on our main channel, Decoeasy. So if you want to see that heart, this one will be upside down. I won't use it as a heart. I just, the shape is a heart, but I'm going to turn it over. But we are going to do some prints. I have 4 prints I'm going to use. I'm going to do this stripe, I'm going to do this star, I'm going to do this stripe, and I'm going to do this star. So you see I have both of them with the blue and the white, and the red and the white, of course. I'm going to do it very easy. I'm doing it print for print. I'm going to place this upside down. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my block, I'm going to do some Mod Podge on the back side like this. Just do some, and make sure that you don't need too much, but too little is also, because it still sucks into the wood a little bit. So I'm just dabbing what off, and I'm going to, because I want to have the stripes this way, so I'm going to place it on top of here and just squeeze it and press it down. We're going to take another one, and we're going to place this one also behind the other one like this, and you leave open a little piece like this, squeeze it. And we are going to do, before this kind of print, I'm going to do 7 of each blocks. So I get 28 blocks, 7 of each color. And again, press it down, take the next one, and we are going so on, and I will do all the colors of all our prints. And you will find those prints also in our free printable. They are from Google, but you can, I especially did them for you in our free printables, so you can find them easily than you have to look on Google. So go check out the free printables. There you find also this kind of print. Normally I don't place Google prints there, but I think maybe you like it a little bit better if you find it on the same spot. So I will do this, and then we're going to do the next step. Our papers with our tumbling tile blocks are drying. We are going to further with that in a moment, but first we are going to make 3 little signs we are going to glue on top of our frame. So this is 3, and not again 3 blocks. So we are going to make just an on the base for our signs. So I'm just going to glue 3 blocks together this way. This is 1, and we're going to do for a 3rd one, and then we already have the base for our signs. Very easy and very fast, just a simple 3 blocker. And again, 1 here, and glue this one together. This is one, and already the last of this block. This is frame number 2, and now we're going for frame number 3, the last one, because I use 3 little signs on top of it, because I think, at least I think I like 3 signs. Maybe I will use 2, you know, then we keep 1 over, but... And again, we have already our 3 cute little signs. And if you just want to make a sign, just do a stand under it like this, and you already have your sign on a stand, and you can already paint it in a color and do some print on top of it, and you have your own cute sign for in your tier tray. But we are going to just glue it this way. Now I have printed out some prints, and of course you see it backwards. And of course I also had a comment from I don't know if I speak her name right, Heather, but not with A, but only with an A. So, but she knows where it is. And you see here the comment that she made. If I always was thinking of Canada Day, I have to be honest, I never heard of it. Of course, I heard of Canada, but not Canada Day on the 1st of July. So I didn't hear. And I made also, especially for her, 2 little signs for she can use for her Canada Day. And of course, everyone can use them because they are in our free printables. So you see it now backwards, but happy Canada Day. And again, also under here. So for everyone who celebrates Canada Day, of course, you can find also some free printables, and it also is called Canada Day. So, but for now, I'm going to do for the 4th of July, I did this one, and I did 3 from this one. So, but I think I'm going for the blue one this time. So I'm going to cut this one out and Mod Podge them on my cute little sides. So I did cut them out. I'm going to give them some Mod Podge on the back side. And I use the paper I don't need anymore as a cover under it, so I don't mess up a lot of my table. And I'm going to place them over here in the little square. And of course I have to be sure that I have it really in the middle. This way, and I have it straight like this. So you see already, this is already 1. I will do the rest. You see, I did the print on all 3 of them, but I don't like the neutral color, at least the color of the blocks. I'm going to get my furniture wax, of course, and I'm going to give it a nice rustic look. But you can do anything you like. If you love more the white background, then you have to paint before you do your print on top. You have to paint your little blocks, because or else it's more difficult to go around it when you have your print already on top of it. But with wax it doesn't matter, because wax is a little bit of distressing and a little bit rustic, so it doesn't mind with that. So I'm going to go all around, and then we're going to do the next step. Here you see the first paper we did with our tumbling tile blocks, and they are still on the back side. What I'm going to do, because I want to have the sides, this side doesn't matter because we are going to glue it on top of our heart, but maybe I give it a little light coat with some furniture wax. But of course I want to do the sides, and when I have them already cut out and glue them on top of my heart, you won't it's not easy to come with it without spilling on your print, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going on the sides and just like this way over it, and just do it whatever you normally would do. And now your print is totally covered, because he's still on the front of your paper. So this works, I think this worked the best. We will see if I'm right or not. So it can also be a really big disaster. So we will see. So I'm going to finish up all the 4 pieces of our paper. So everything is drying on my table. It is one big mess, but in a moment we are going to put everything together and then it will make sense to you. But of course, when this is dry, I'm going to cut them out and I do my sanding paper and I'm going to sand them around the edges of the blocks. So I hope it will turn out okay because I didn't see the back side from one only, from what the red and white stripes. So I am really curious how this will turn out. So I have here my piece of my paper with my blocks. I'm going to cut off the underside like this. And I just do this away. And I'm going to cut off this side like this. And we are going to go through the middle exactly this way. And we're going to the middle of each block this way and just this way, so we get nice little blocks. And we are going to take our sanding tool and we are going to sand over it to make a nice block out of it. I'm going to first make all the blocks separate from each other, so this way. So I will do this and then I'm going to sand them and then you will see the result. And here you see all the blocks are from the paper and just did sand them. You see, this is how they turned out. And this is the back side, of course, of our tumbling towel block. Like this. So I have the stripe, the stars, the stripe and the stars again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my heart and I'm going to place it in the way I want to have it on top of a stand. We're going to make later the stand. The stand will be very easy, but I'm going to use my heart this way. Like this, not this way, but I'm going to do it this way and he will be on a stand. So I'm going to fill up my blocks over here, so we will see how this will turn out. You see, I was just playing around with the blocks and I did of course 4 of the blue and white stripe, 4 of the red and white, 4 of the stars and 4 of these stars. And I'm going to do over. And now I have still 4 of each block I have over here for the second layer. But I'm going to glue this on top of here. And of course you can do any way you like. If you like everyone in the same direction, it's also fine. Do whatever you think is right. I'm going for this thing and I'm going to of course do some glue under it. And I'm just going to place it and just glue it this way. I'm going to do some glue and again place it over here, keep it in place for a couple of minutes, and so I go on and on and on, and then we go to, in a moment we do the second row. The first row is on top of our heart. You can almost not see it is a heart anymore. Now we're going to make a second row, and again I'm just going to play around with looks good or which doesn't look right. So do whatever you think is right, and I do it with the 4th of July paper, but of course you can do it with any paper for the summer season, with lemons. Choose anything, and even in the fall season you can do it Christmas with Christmas prints, so you can do anything with it. So I'm just going to play around for the second layer, and then you will see how it's looking like on the heart. You see, I played around with the second layer and I did totally of 2 blocks from each on top of here, also 2 now from the blue and white and 2 from the stars and 2 of the red and white, and I'm keeping over 2 of the each blocks like this because I don't need this one. So I'm going to place them over here because I don't think I'm going to need them. So I'm going to glue this one on top of here, so I have to make a little bit sure that I have it on the place I want to place my block. So I have to be and over here, and again just place it in between, and you go on and on the place you want to have it this way. So I will do the rest. layer number 2 is on top of here, and I think it's, for me, it's more than enough. What I'm going to do, I'm now going to make our 3 little signs we made. I'm going to lay them and look where I want to have them. And I think a little bit like this way. I'm going to, this one a little bit lower, I think over here, this one over here, and this one sideways over here. So I'm going to glue them on top. So I'm doing some glue over here and some glue over here, and just lay it down and just wait until it is dry. We are going to do some glue on the top over here, on this top, and again just lay it down and wait until it is dried. And we're going to do with the same over here, some glue, and over here, and we are just going to place it down and wait until it is dried up. So we always, now we already have our signs. Maybe I can show it to you a little better this way. So he's already looking very nice. I know you see the word USA backwards, but of course that's just my telephone. This is already almost decorated. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out of my stash my garland with some boxwood, and I was looking if I would like, and the pop of green is so nice, which is popping out of the reed. So I'm going to get my garland and we're going to fill it up some little places with some greenery. So I only take this kind of boxwood, and you can use any greenery you like. This is just what I like. So I have over here, I have a little opening. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some, of course I need some glue. Before I can glue, I do some on the leaf, and I'm going to lay down on the reed. I'm going to lay down this piece of boxwood, and I'm going to do the same but in the opposite direction. Again, some glue over here, and I'm going to place it on this side but on top of here, and keep it in place for a couple of seconds until it is dried up. And so I'm going to fill up all the little gaps, and you get a nice pop of little green, but you don't have to do it. This is just my privilege. I placed my greenery, my boxwood inside, and this is how he's looking because he's coming on this side. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a little bow, but a very simple bow here in between in the middle because he's coming on this side. And I'm going to do the bow so easy because I always take just a piece of twine, because I'm not a great bow maker. I'm really a bad bow maker. So I'm going to do some in my hand, and I'm going to turn it over a couple of times like this. I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to get my rope, and I'm going to loop it over, loop it over, loop it over like this. And I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to do some glue on the back side, and I already have the top of my bow. And then I'm going to do, very easy, of course I have to show you the tails. I'm also going to do again the same this way, and I'm going to get it over here, leave this over. I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to cut this one, this and this I'm going to cut off, and I'm going to squeeze this one together, glue my bow on top of here, and we have already a twine bow with some tails on it, but you see it in a moment. So this is already the top of our bow I just made, and I'm just have a couple of these pieces of twine, and I think this time I did 1, 2, 3, 5, and I'm going to squeeze them together this way like this, and I'm going to do some glue on here and just glue it together like one big bundle. And I'm just going to let it dry a couple of seconds until it is, you can touch it with your hand. And of course this is a little bit messy, but don't worry, just squeeze the glue on top of here, and you can really mold it like this. But be careful, I don't feel anything with my fingers, but you be careful. And I'm going to make the tails even long, because you see already they don't have the same length. Cut it off, and I'm going to place it on top of here. Just do some, I thought I have my glue gun on, but he had it for today. he's already finished. So, and of course in the Netherlands we call a glue is of course in the Netherlands lijm. So also very easy, lijm. And you call it glue. So I'm going to do some glue over here. And I'm going to place my tails in here and I'm going to squeeze it and keep it in place until it is dried up. And the only thing I need to do right now is just gluing the top of our tail on tail at the top of our bow on here. Of course, I have to be sure that I have some glue over here. And what I always do, because I always like to finish up my glue a little bit different than I think a lot of you do. And I'm going to work with it. And I'm going to take little pieces of the greenery I always use in my display. I'm going to cut it off and do some glue on the ending and just squeeze it inside the bow on the back side. And again, a little piece, cut it off, take some glue, and again, squeeze it inside, so we get a nice finishing touch of our bow. So I will do the rest, and then we're going to do the stand. So now our 4th of July little heart is finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give it the stand, because I don't have my hanging. I have it on the side, but he needs to stand. He cannot stand on his own because we did some some blocks over here, some glues, some blocks over here. So what we're going to do, we are going to make our own stand, and it's so easy because I always love easy. So we are going to put 2 blocks together this way. This is 1. And we are going to do number 2. And again, place it and press it down. Remove the glue. And we're going to do number 3. Again, place it and press it down. And the last one, we are going to press it down like this. And what we're going to do right now, it's very easy. We are going to glue 2 blocks on top of each other. So also very easy. Just place them on top of each other, squeeze it real hard. And we do the same with this one. Of course, I need some glue again. And we are going to glue it this way. Like this. And now we only need to glue these 2 together. But we have to sure if this is fitting quite nice, or maybe we have to look. I think it will. And do some glue. And again, squeeze it and press it down. And we get a very easy 4 blocks each on each side. Double it up and you already have 1 part of the stand. And now we're going to do 2 blocks and we do it on the top. It was a little bit too much glue already, see, and glue this one like this, but we are not gluing it on top yet. We are going to do that later. We are going to now give it some furniture wax, because now he's not totally fitting with our heart. So I'm going to do some furniture wax on top of here, and then we're going to glue it on top of here. So I'm going to do some furniture wax, but not everywhere. I'm just going to do this side like this, and for the top I'm just only doing this piece, and on the other side this piece, because the rest will be with the underside of course our heart. And I'm going to do this part and this, and then the sides, and that's all we are going to do. So you see, I placed you totally down on my on my placemat. What I'm going to do, because here you see the top we use as a stand. So I'm going to lay on top here, and I made sure that it is doubled up because or else your blocks would be coming on the table. So I doubled it up, and I'm going to find my spot over here, and I have to look where he stays when he doesn't turn anymore, because he finds his own way. You see, if I am correctly, I am almost there where he wants to stay. I have to look for that I have it totally straight, and I turned it over so you can see it even better. So I'm going to do some glue, because we are going to glue this one on the back side against this heart, so he can go anywhere. So it's a very easy way just to glue your pieces together. So we are just going to do some glue over here on this, and we are going to place it on top over here and make sure that he is in place, and just squeeze it and press it against and wait until it is dried up like this, and then we can turn it over.